G'day, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Net Zero Quickie. This one kind of relates to the video I put out, my main video today, which was about Glyndebourne Opera, which had to cancel a performance because its wind turbine was becalmed in the still air of summer, and how that particular organisation had been overtaken by net zero zealotry. Well, in a more significant issue, I guess, the gold standard health service, as it was called, the National Health Service in the UK, is spending huge amounts of money, not on patients, which you'd think that would be the priority, but on, yes, net zero, because that's the priority. As the article reads, how net zero stupidity inspired an NHS spending spree. As waiting lists soar, Reform UK takes aim at the health service's insane climate goals. When Sir Simon Stevens unveiled plans for the NHS to become the first healthcare system in the world to hit net zero, the former NHS chief made no apologies for setting the target during COVID. In his words, putting the health service at the forefront of the fight against climate change was vital in tackling the most profound long-term threat to health of the nation. The NHS has set an ambition to reach net zero emissions from its own activities by 2040, 10 years ahead of the national target. However, this world-leading objective is now under increasing scrutiny as the NHS faces the biggest crisis in its 75-year history, with more than 7 million people stuck on waiting lists and financial pressures mounting. It is not only hospitals and GP surgeries that have been set stretching targets. Suppliers of medicines and medical equipment will also have to hit net zero by 2045 if they want to keep working with the health service. Crucially, the rules will also force all NHS suppliers to publicly report their emissions by 2027, excluding them from bidding for contracts if they fail to make progress on net zero by the end of the decade. Ridiculous. Such bold goals are now becoming a target for politicians on the right, who fear it is adding unnecessary strain on the beleaguered health service. Zia Yusuf, the former chairman of Reform UK, made the point in a damning social media post last month as he advanced the party's pledge to scrap a target to hit net zero by 2050. Brilliant idea. Instead of prioritising the record waiting lists or the tens of thousands who wait more than 3 days in A&E each year. 3 days in accident and emergency. Oh my God. The Westminster elite decided the NHS should achieve net zero by 2040 and for NHS suppliers by 2045, he said. All these insane rules result in taxpayers endlessly forced to put more into the NHS and yet struggle to see a doctor. Well, the NHS, like Glyndebourne, ironically, has got an infection of its own, and that infection is the net zero mind virus. And they think it's more important to meet those targets than to actually improve the waiting times and the care for patients, which you'd think as a health organisation should really be the priority. I think that's kind of page one, really. It just goes to show, really, how virulent this virus is, this net zero mind virus. Paralyzes the brain from logical thought, and it puts net zero above anything else. Like I say, net zero trumps everything. Absolutely insane news from the UK, the falling apart UK. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thanks very much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Bye for now.